Thanks for joining us here at noon on your Thursday. I'm Brooke Hash, joined by meteorologist Matt Breland. We bring you to the top of the show because it's going to be a busy weather afternoon.
That's right. Our first time tracking this type of weather pattern all year.
Yeah.
You know, we've tracked snow, we've tracked freezing temperatures, and now thunder was ready to be part of the show.
Yeah, when you hear hail and isolated tornadoes, it gets my attention.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is going to mostly be a southern Indiana threat, but of course we're still tracking the rest of our afternoon, evening, and nighttime hours to include some strong storms. Gusty winds, isolated tornadoes, and also hail are all included for us as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon hours. You want to make sure that you continue having ways of receiving weather alerts from us here on WHAS 11. If you scan this QR code that you see on your screen, you'll have access to our free app and you'll be able to receive all the latest weather details. Over the last few hours, there has been some increased risks for folks over in southern Indiana. This includes Bedford, Paoli, English, Salem, Seymour, now included in that level 3 out of 5 risk for seeing severe weather. For our counties along the Ohio River and just a bit farther south into Elizabethtown, that's where we're expecting to see some thunderstorm activity as well that could include those gusty winds and some of those isolated tornadoes. So here's a look of downtown right now. You'll notice those clouds continuing to build in our skies, those temperatures continuing to increase into the mid to upper 60s, feeling rather mild and not that bad for us this afternoon, but we are going to continue to track out some more active weather as we enter the later hours of the days. Temperatures getting very close to 70 for folks there near Campbellsville and near Letchfield. You'll notice on satellite and radar these clouds are moving quickly. There's a lot of speed up in the atmosphere at the moment. We've got a lot of winds that are playing a big part in this severe setup, and you'll notice that windy pattern still continuing mostly across central Indiana. So that's going to be the area that we watch carefully, and we're already seeing some activity starting to build farther off towards our west over in southern Illinois. This is going to be the area that starts bringing in more of that active weather pattern. As you'll notice, just towards the east of St. Louis, there's already some activity starting to build with us. So we're going to continue tracking out the arrival of these showers and storms, likely closer towards 3 p.m. is whenever they'll start developing across southern Indiana, and they'll be lasting into the later afternoon and into the first few hours of our evening. We're going to continue keeping a close eye on these details. There is an increased risk for some tornado activity for folks over into southern Indiana, so we will continue to keep a close eye on that. Brooke?
All right, Matt, thank you. An arrest with Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former British prince who was stripped of his royal titles due to the links of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested this morning on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Andrew has consistently denied any wrongdoing, but his relationship with Epstein has definitely troubled the royal family for years. The king released a statement shortly after that arrest. You can hear what he has to say in the next 10 minutes. Back here at home, police are looking for the gunman who shot a man in the Portland neighborhood. The victim's now at U of L Hospital in critical condition. Police said they found him lying in the intersection of North 28th at St. Xavier Street around 2 this morning. He'd been shot multiple times. Another top story here at noon. We are hearing from a former nurse about hospital safety protocol after Wednesday's incident at Baptist Health Louisville. A female patient fired 4 shots inside of her own hospital room around 5:30 yesterday morning. Police said the patient, named Mystic Rain, was airlifted to the hospital and then at some point shot when a nurse was trying to enter her room, shot somewhere in that room. 21 patients were evacuated during the incident. Rain is charged with wanton endangerment and criminal mischief. State Representative Kimberly Moser of Northern Kentucky is a former neonatal intensive care and flight nurse who said the incident puts many people in harm's way.
She did put a lot of people at risk and created a whole lot of fear. And so, that, that in a hospital situation, especially where patients were evacuated, really puts patients at risk.
Thankfully, no one was injured. Baptist Health said guns are not allowed in any facilities and maintains comprehensive security procedures. We did ask Baptist Health about those patient checks. It responded saying when a patient presents to our hospital, our immediate priority is to assess and address their medical needs with professionalism and compassion. You can read that full statement online right now at WHAS11.com. There are no federal laws that require violence prevention programs to protect healthcare workers. A bill was introduced in 2023 to federally mandate violence protection laws, but it never made it through committee. However, many states have passed their own laws. Kentucky implemented one in January of last year. Jeffersontown police believe a man accused of shooting at officers in December is the same man who committed a murder just months before. Jeffersontown police said Winthrop Taylor killed 34-year-old Aries Clayton in a J-Town apartment near Arbor Point Drive back on October 22nd. He has since been indicted for that murder. And then in December, Metro Police said Taylor was the same person involved in a string of crimes, accused of 2 carjackings and a shooting with officers at the Krispy Kreme parking lot on Bardstown Road. Charges from that incident include attempted murder and fleeing from police. You just heard the same gun fired using 2 different triggers. The first, a normal trigger. The second used a machine gun conversion device, also known as an MCD or a Glock switch. A single trigger pull with an MCD can empty a high-capacity magazine in just under 3 seconds. LMPD is cracking down on these devices, which can be 3D printed and attached to any gun. In a news conference this week, ATF Special Agent John Noakes said the department has recovered 478 of these in Kentucky. It's the second highest in the country due to the accessibility.
If someone has a 3D printer and they print one of these devices, possession of that device alone, once they've printed it, they've now committed a federal offense, and they can be charged for having a possession of a machine gun.
A new bill is proposed in Kentucky's House of Representatives right now by Representative Jason Nemes. It would ban possession of MCDs. The Louisville Riverport Authority is launching a major master plan to modernize Riverport, one of the region's largest industrial hubs, home to more than 120 companies and 8,000 jobs. The year-long effort will evaluate upgrades to the 40-year-old marine terminal, improve rail and road access, strengthen flood resilience, and prepare sites for future manufacturing and logistics growth. Kentucky-based BFW Engineering is leading the project, backed by up to $1 million in federal funding secured by Congressman Morgan McGarvey through the U.S. Maritime Administration. City leaders say the plan will help Riverfront and Riverport remain competitive, boost global trade, and protect thousands of local jobs for years to come.
Southwest Louisville deserves every opportunity that every other corner of our city has. We are going to continue to invest there, and that's why we're here today. Because we know that when Riverport thrives, the South End thrives. When the South End thrives, our city thrives, and when Louisville thrives, all of Kentucky thrives. So I'm proud that we're going to continue with these partnerships moving forward to make Riverport an even more exciting opportunity than it is today.
Located in southwest Jefferson County, Riverport businesses employ more than 8,000 people with more than $8.2 billion in annual revenue estimated and nearly $5 billion in annual exports.